Calling your friend does not automatically make them your friend. Have they called you their friend? That is what we've been discussing on here. Real talk. On here, we keep it real. Real talk. And our series started with friendship. What is friendship? And we're able to say friendship is that person you connect with. And we said you can't actually connect with everyone. And for you to connect with people does not mean you don't need an investment. Every friend needs investment. And what is that investment? You need to work on your friendship. Be it parents, children relationship, be it siblings relationship, be it opposite sex relationship, whatever relationship, country, state, whatever relationship you want and you want it healthy and beneficial in life, you need to work on it. And we say, who you can actually call a friend is availability. That person who you will always call anytime, any day, and the person is there for you without murmuring. Good to have you today on Real Talk. My name is so Bidi Nana. And to do this today, like always, I have all the way from Milan, Massive Mark. Massive Mark, good to have you here.
Good to have you again, Bidi Nana. It's good to have you. Beautiful topic today again. And it's good to be in the studio with you. Hope everybody also joins. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. And all the way from Toronto, we have an authority on relationship matter. So George, good to have you here today.
Hello, Bidi, Massive Mark, and welcome viewers from around the world.
Thank you.
Yes, good to have you people. Yeah, these are the people that will be doing it together here today. We'll still have some other of our co-hosts who will be joining us as we go on. Now, we've been talking about relationship. We talked about family relationship, acquaintance, and friends relationship. Today, we will be doing the big masquerade romantic relationship. Romantic relationship. You know, when we actually started from family, acquaintance, friends, is because a lot of people mess it up. When you say friendship, the only thing that comes to their mind is romantic relationship. No. Not only that, if you don't have a healthy family relationship, if you don't have a healthy friend relationship, it will be difficult for you to have a healthy romantic relationship. Remember, our experts in the house said, for you to be a friend, you have to be friendly. Do you understand? If you're not friendly, it's difficult for you to make a good friend. Now, Sir George, today we're talking about romantic relationship. When we say romantic relationship, the first thing that comes to our mind is jumping into the bed, kissing, romancing, getting down. So please, can you explain for us what is romantic relationship?
Well, I believe that romantic relationship is a relationship that have grown over time, a relationship that progressed from an acquaintance stages to where you pass through the physical attraction to the emotional attraction, and then to be able to, be one with somebody. Because you cannot be one with somebody if you two are not in harmony. Now, a lot of people, when it comes to romantic relationship, what they think about only is actually the function of their emotions. But there are things that are involved in a relationship when it comes to romance. That is, your will is involved, your decision making is involved, and your ability to embrace the differences between you and the individual that you are supposed to be attracted to. One of the major problems we have had in relationships is we are looking at the other person always as the person who is supposed to complete us, rather than we being complete and joining ourselves to that individual. Like I said the last time, two now will become one. And then because 1 plus 1 in a relationship is 1, not 2.
Oh, hmm.
What we are talking about is embracing the differences. Embracing the differences actually is one of the major problems that we have in relationships, because you are strong in one area and the other person is weak in another area. And what happens with that is you concentrate on your own strength and then put down the other person in their weaknesses. But in a relationship that has grown to emotional, or what you call romantic relationship, where you are strong is where I'm weak, where I'm weak is where you're strong. So those are the things that attract. Our difference is supposed to bring us together and make us one. So that's what we're talking about when you talk about romantic relationship, where two people are looking in the same direction together rather than looking at each other. That's in a
I like that. I like that. You said first there must be will. Massive Mark, are you there with me? There must be will. Massive Mark, are
Very
you
well.
there with me? Are
Very
you
well.
there? Sir John just said something that blown my mind. He said, in a romantic relationship, there must be will. Now, in a situation, in our society today, we find out that, but I love her, but I love him. Without finding out if this person you love loves you. It's supposed to be a reciprocal something. You understand? Sir John has said this, that there must be will. Are you willing to be in that romantic relationship with me? So just please, nothing like, can you explain that? Can you say something about it? A lot of people say, but I want him, I want her. And you're not even interested if the person you wants you. The only thing we know that we want is the person. And that is where the will is lacking, according to what Sajid just said now.
Very powerful statement, Sir George said. Take note of the man talking is an expert. He counsels people, so he knows what he's saying. Is that correct, Sir George?
well,
Um,
that's correct, yes.
yes. Well, we're dealing in a very delicate and very special and serious topic here. The confusion in the world is because people don't understand all of these things. So marriages are failing, relationships are breaking down because we just mumble all of these things together. Like what Sir George said, one thing that needs to be cleared is when two people meet, they need to define what they are meeting for. When a boy and a girl meets, in most cases, some people are actually out in a relationship for something else. Some people in a relationship probably they are looking for help from the other person. A girl could be in a relationship with a boy because she wants something from that relationship, and a boy could be in a relationship because he wants something. So we are mixing up. A lot of time, people find themselves mixing up two things together. So we need to really spell out what we want in every relationship. So now coming to this aspect of the relationship you're talking about, you are talking about the man and woman relationship, which is beautiful, ordained by God. Beautiful, ordained by God for a purpose. Uh, a lot of purpose. One, the major purpose is for reprocreation. Also for loneliness, to ease, to make two be together. So when two people meet, like the wise man said, he said two heads are better than one. And obviously these two head, when they meet together and they agree, there has to be that agreement of purpose, of meeting, of coming together. There has to be that agreement. So what we have is a situation where things just go by. People find themselves just going by in a relationship, and they in fact, you end up having more pain. You end up having more pain in the relationship than having um, joy out of it. So people are just going by, just coming to a relationship. The next minute there's a fight, everybody goes away. Now in Nigeria, for example, there's a terminology they use: serving breakfast. Serving breakfast is dumping your spouse, dumping your partner, dumping your friend, and all that. And it has now become like something people want to do because
A
it's
norm.
a norm, and that's terrible. We should really erase that notion from the minds of young people. The relationship is not something you want to go into to intentionally dump the person and make the person feel bad. I mean, you'll be hurting yourself too mentally, psychologically. You'll be hurting yourself. So, relationship goal it should be spelled out. We should understand what we're coming into for, and we should be able to also play the cards well. Now, last time I was saying something, but maybe I'll come to this later as the discussion goes on. Thank you.
It's okay. It's okay. So George, are you still there? Yes. Now, so George, are you still there? This network is trying to
Yes,
mess
I
up
am.
this show for you. Oh, my love is here. Anita, how are you? Anita, good to have you. I was wondering, are you not coming on trip today? How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. This is
Good to
Catherine
have you.
from Ghana.
Catherine, it's true. Catherine, I miss you, my love. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good to have you. Now, Sir George,
Yes.
Massive Mike just said something that is very, very common with us today. It talks about breakfast. Breakfast in Africa or in Nigeria it is not a norm. It's a household name in a relationship. And now you talked about romantic relationship, and healthy romantic relationship starts from acquaintance to friendship, emotion, then romantic. Now, if I that with this breakfast massive man talked about today, people don't even go through those processes. We have the kind of relationship that we meet in the morning, in the afternoon, we're already on the bed. In the evening, the relationship is done and dusted, and they jump into another person. Mr. George, how do you analyze this kind of lifestyle that has become norm in our society today?
Well, what we see is that what relationship used to be in the past is no longer what it is today.
Yes.
Today, people are pushed, they have goals, and their goals are self centered goals. Where he
Hmm,
got money, therefore, I'm in love with him. Where he
exactly.
is so fine, therefore, I'm in love with him. So, most of these things, when that money now comes and goes, relationship is gone. Now, when you
Yeah.
have a goal entering into a relationship at the inception of it, you are bound to be disappointed because the reason why you entered into it, the foundation is wrong to begin with. So when you enter into it with that goal, now it looks from the outside as it is so fancy and it is so beautiful because your attraction is what you call a goal-centered attraction that will benefit you, not even the other individual. Now, all of a sudden, reality comes, all of a sudden, all the fanciness of the money and everything, is waved away. The real character of that individual shows up. You can enjoy it for a moment, but after a little while, you will be tired of it, and then it becomes nothing but what they call breakfast because you're getting rid of that individual. Now, to have a goal in a relationship, you have to set a goal, and that goal ought to be what am I bringing into this relationship to make it to work, not what the other person can do for me. Because if you're coming into a relationship with a self-centered goal that you are already conjured up in your mind, this is what the relationship is going to be like. Therefore, he's an attractive young man. Therefore, I want to fall in love with him. Or he got a lot of money, which is very the case in Nigeria now. Some people, I can guarantee you, more than 40% of relationship in Nigeria today is because of money. And that is why people are dying.
70, that 40 is on that 70%, not 40, 70.
Well, I was just trying to be conservative in my assertions. So what we are seeing now is all of a sudden You coming into a relationship with these self-centered goals. Communication from you is always centered on what you can get. If you are disappointed in that area, you start fighting the other individual. And part of the problem we have today is we don't have problem-solving techniques. Problem-solving techniques is if I have an issue with you, I will center my attention on solving that problem. I don't go personal on you. I don't attack your personality. I don't attack your character. I don't attack your own person. But that is why most relationships disappear after a short while, because you begin to say things that you will regret later. You begin to attack the individual rather than centering on that situation to find a solution to it. And that's one of the major issues that we have today in relationship. Remember in the past, the way it used to be, two families will come together and they say, oh, this is the person we want you to marry. And then you will agree. You don't know the person. And then before you know it, both of you are in the same house. And you begin to learn to know each other. And
building life together.
Living life together. And then you go through the processes of learning one another, learning to be with one another, learning to love one another, learning to like one another. Because a lot of times we love our partners, but we don't like them. Think about it.
Just please, before you go on, I want to ask you a question on what you said. You said, what are you bringing on the table? You have to be eternized and discuss it. In Nigeria today, in this part of Africa, they say, what are you bringing on the table? When you talk about what you're bringing on the table, is it physical or internal or both sides?
Let me just tell you this. We always hear this quotation that says that opposite attracts. My youngest son is is he's about 6'6". He's a tall guy, very tall. He came home one day with this little girl, short girl that was about not up to 5 feet, very little. And the girl was like, right here on his chest. So he came in and introduced me to the girl. And I'm looking at him up there, looking at this little one, and I started laughing. So the girl was like, sir, what is funny? I'm looking up there and I'm looking at you. So I started laughing. So I say, shorty, my soul is torn, and he's attracted to shorter women. It's so beautiful.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, and that is how it is in a relationship. You will see a whole lot of people. A lot of people that are opposite attract the opposite of who they are. And that opposite is where your weaknesses usually are. They are strong in that area.
Exactly.
Now, somebody is a clean freak in the house. She loves to clean everything. And then you grew up not being a clean person. You throw your socks when you come back from work and they get upset. But she doesn't like to wash dishes because her nails are long. Now, what you as a man ought to do is learn how to wash dishes to complement her weakness. And she will learn how to pick up your socks to complement your own weakness. These are how opposite attracts. You could be an organized person is scattered. That is how relationship works.
It should be. Thank you very much. Catherine, can you hear me very well?
Yes, please, I can hear you.
Catherine, from what we've discussed so far, and then what I just said, 40%, I said it's a lie, it's 70% in Africa. The kind of relationship we do in Africa is money-based relationship. Now, most time I think, is it because of the poverty level in our continent or what? What do you make of that? Because it's obvious that majority of people go into a relationship because of what they will get, not because of who they are going into a relationship for. Before, when we were younger, it used to be women who look for rich men. But today, men are looking for rich women. Is it because of the poor continent we come?
Hello. Can
Yes, we can hear you. I think it's a network now. Go ahead, Catherine. Go ahead. You heard what she asked you? I guess so. Go ahead, Catherine. Yes, go ahead. I think you heard what she
Oh,
said. Go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
yeah, yes, please. Yes, please. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I want to start
Mm-hmm.
from a different angle, but then I am still within the angle. I want
Okay.
to say that our elders, they have really failed us.
Okay.
I want to start from that point. Some of our leaders have really failed the young ones. Okay, so I have a case that I'm working on a young girl, very
Mm-hmm.
brilliant. She has gone to stay with a man as I'm talking to you right now. And I'm working on that issue right now to get that girl out of that place. You see, growing up, there are a lot of things our parents failed to educate us on. Okay.
Exactly.
And you know, because of technology, when technology and other things and other luxurious things started coming into our community, our families or our fathers should have given us the basis. Okay. The basis is very important. It is about time our fathers empower us, our uncles and our aunties. They have to empower us with what they've gone through. Okay, they never did that. When they saw that there are luxurious things coming in, people started buying cars, young people started thriving, especially in Africa. There's something that was really disturbing us. It's called sakawa. When the young men were so passionate to make money, and you don't know where they get the money from. Suddenly they buy, you see a young man get a car, you see a young man get a building, you see a young man, and our parents, because they were not able, some of them, they were not able to put up those structures. They released their daughters, okay? They released their daughters to be with this kind of guys. And we don't know where they were making their money from. Okay, and so our parents, instead of them telling us, you see, life it's a process. You have to go through.
Exactly.
They
Exactly.
never advise us on that. They see, I have a lot of experience. I remember when there was this young girl in my area, and then we all completed college. We were in the house, okay. So suddenly she started, she got a boyfriend, and then they brought a very nice car to the mother. I was there. The mother was like, oh, it was telling everybody in the community, very soon my daughter will be getting married to this rich guy. The guy was into mining, gold mining. And the woman was bragging with it. The young man will come and park the beautiful car, and then will be pulled. I mean, it was flushing them with money and all kind of things. And you could see how our mothers were I don't know. They were so excited that their daughters are coming to marry rich men and all that. Let me tell you, there is no richness anywhere. You must work for it. It comes
Exactly.
with patience. And some of us that didn't get those opportunity to be with those guys, my auntie was like, "Hey, you are always in the room. You don't go anywhere. You see your friend. You see that your friend, she'll be getting married, and look at you." And then this was my policy. I told myself that until somebody comes to my house, knock at my door, tell my parent that I want to marry your daughter, I will not be with any man. So
Yeah.
while
That,
they were working with other men, going to club, driving and all that, the guy came to the area, set up a container, bought things for the lady. Hey, what is happening? You see, so these are flashy things. That is this. I mean, is disturbing our parents. So that is the genesis of it. So if you see a
exactly.
young lady hunting for money, looking for money, being so crazy to get money to buy a car, to buy a house to get money he or she has not worked for. Likewise to
Exactly.
the men. going after sugar mummies. They want to make it. They want to prove to their parents.
Hmm.
Recently, there was an accident. We don't know what happened. The guy just they got a paper and it was written, "Mommy and Daddy, I'm sorry I couldn't make up. I couldn't whatever. It's like he has disappointed the parents. I don't know what happened, but the guy just killed himself just like that. So
Wow.
I want to say that it's from the genesis. It's from the genesis. And where is the genesis? It's from our
Oh,
parents.
very
It's
good.
from our
Wow.
aunties. They are
I
putting too
I
much pressure on the youth.
I totally agree with her. I'm telling you, our parents, it's quite unfortunate that our grandparents were open with our parents, but our parents were liars. Sorry to say this. They will never tell you the real situation of things. Do you understand? They will allow you and you go out and get that information in a wrong way. Now our parents, they admire little things get them tricked off. We as children, we watch them when our mates bring in car, bring in rich husbands. We see their body language, we see their reactions. You understand? And indirectly, they push these ladies to always looking for that rich man. Like today, our men are also looking for rich ladies. So I totally agree with her in that direction. In this part of the world, in Africa, our parents are instrumental to most of the things that is happening in the life of our young ones today, who are money prone. They're no longer interested in building a relationship, like Sir George said. They just want to. They want to already build relationship, and that is why we're having a lot of problem. Massive Bank, I can see you're nodding with a lot of. Please, can you contribute to that?
Uh, yes, Catherine hit it just boom on the topic.
I'm
Very
telling
beautiful.
you.
Yes. So we come back to what we've been saying. There was something I said last time that needs to be addressed, and that is relationship requires majorly um, people understanding themselves. So a man or a woman that has not discovered who they are
Yeah,
getting into a relationship, because a relationship is a two-way thing. So
yeah.
you don't know who you are, you don't know your emotions, you don't know your psychologies, you don't understand your mental well-being, you don't understand your intelligence, you don't none of these things you've taken time to study, and you bump into another person. Now there will be a boom, there will be a real wild clash in that. But anyway, in the case of Africa, most of us from Africa, in the case of Africa, we've survived those process. You know, we've had situations where people have just gone all through this rugged way. But I think as we enter into a new millennium, a new era, it's important we begin to address these things, because these were the things that made us also not do too well as a continent, as a people. You know, we've not done so well. There are broken marriages, broken homes, scattered homes, fragmented families, children left on their own, and it has increased a lot. It has increased notorious activities that increase a lot of things. So we want to amend that as we go into the future. And to amend that starts with us discovering who we are, number one, and
Exactly.
also taking our time to make the sacrifice of understanding who the next person is, who that lady is, who that guy is. So that comes from the character. That comes from being relatable, you know, being able to relate with each other with ease. That comes from also having real contact. I'm sorry to say this, I'm a social techie man, but I think somehow the social activities is not helping with relationship. Yes, because you find yourself all day long on your WhatsApp, on your Facebook, and all these things, and people are not having that real, normal, very organic um, kind of atmosphere. So we are busy updating our social handles. We are busy doing all these things, but we are leaving something aside that matters a lot, and that
It's,
is creating real human relationship. Thank you.
exactly.
Can I add to what he was just saying?
It's okay, please.
There was one word he mentioned, the organic relationship. Organic. Organic can, actually stems from the foundation of our creator. A lot of people don't pay attention to it. He actually started a relationship in the Garden of Eden. And he knows exactly what it is that it would take to make a relationship to work. So when you say organic relationship, that means from natural standpoint. So what we have done these days, we are actually hiding under the cosmetic veil of the modern times. Nobody wants to go to the foundation. Our lady here was talking about that our parents are not telling us the truth and all that kind of stuff. Yes, indeed, because it's a money-driven society these days. Everything is driven by how successful you are. And success to them is how much money you have in the account, how many cars you're driving, how many houses you have. But yet, you can have all of those things. Look at Elvis Presley's daughter that just died a few weeks ago. Tell me what she lacked in life. Can you anybody tell me from when she was born until she died at the age of 56, what was it that she actually lacked? But I can guarantee you that that young lady was not a happy camper all through her life. So we are looking at something that is supposed to be enhance who we are, supposed to help us do certain things as a goal in life. All of a sudden, that's all that drives us. So now, when that money comes and all other problems come with the money, you're not able to deal with it. And sometimes we die in the midst of that money, heartbroken, lonely, not able to cope. You go into substances to sustain yourself within the relationship. And that's
okay.
really it.
Thank you very much for that. Now, you can't talk about romantic relationship without talking about sex. And today we'll be looking at how cheap and how easy sex has become in our society. But before we discuss that, let's go for a quick break, and when we return, we'll continue. Don't get away, we'll be right back.
This world, changing your mindset.
Welcome back to just joining us. This is Real Talk Relationship Goal, and we'll be discussing relationship and type of relationship. We have the 001, 002, and today is the last series on this relationship talk. If you have missed it, you can go to our YouTube channel and watch from first series to today, and we'll be bringing you more other topics on this relationship goal. And before we went on break, we were talking about romantic relationship. I would say that you can never say anything romantic without sex. And we want to look at in romantic relationship, who and who is expected or supposed to have intimacy. And intimacy, I mean, supposed to have sex. Now, in our society today, sex is the easiest thing to get and it's the quickest thing to get. I tell you, people meet in the morning and by in the evening they've already had sex. The next morning relationship has packed up. Sir George, I can see you smiling. Sir George, please, this you're smiling. I comes with a lot of things. So please tell us. Because me, I'm even tired for what is happening in our society today
on relationship and sex. The thing is that people already start having sex before they get to know each other. And that's why you hear them say it didn't work. I was like, how can it work? When you're supposed to start at the end, you started at the beginning. Sir George.
Growing up, the act of chasing is the best part of relationships. When you're
I
chasing
love
a
that.
woman and she's saying no, and you keep coming and coming and coming until finally she says yes, and you begin to
Oh my
nurture that
God.
relationship. These days, it is no longer that. These
Oh
Yes.
days, they
God.
chase you. These days, they come after you. And what is the root cause of all of that? Money. Money. That is the reason you meet somebody in the afternoon. By the evening, you're meeting with them again, you're having sex. Why? What are they expecting from you? The root cause of the whole thing is money. So it is all done. The act of chasing that used to be the sweetest thing that, oh, wow. I mean, you be jumping on top of the roof because she finally talked to you and said,
Yes.
okay, we can get to know each other. But these days, it's all gone. It is all gone. That act of chasing is what actually builds the man, gives him the ego that, yes, indeed, she likes me enough to say yes. We can actually get to know each other. And you start building that relationship. Now, these days, what it is, they have cheapified it because they have put the cart before the horse. They are having sex before they even know each other. And many people will have sex without even knowing the name of that person. But if you happen to go and without
Jesus
taking their
Christ.
number, I've seen friends that will say, "Oh, she's asking me for my name." I'm like, wait, what? Your name? But you were intimate with the person. Oh yeah, we didn't get to all of that. No, because and this is what is happening in our communities today, and it's predominantly in most of undeveloped worlds. That's what's happening. Now, like in developed worlds, you might have people that this is their profession. They go out there, because their profession is prostitution. But in these undeveloped worlds, like for instance, my own country that I know of, you have students doing it. You have students in the university, even in high school, young people. They're doing it. So it's almost like this now. And we're talking about sex. Even in a relationship, in a pure unconditional love relationship, each partner ought to be aiming to please the other one. That is the reason why, if you see a lot of relationships, they are happy because they are aiming not to please oneself. I'm not here to please me. I get to please you first. When I please you, then I can receive my own satisfaction. So when two people are aiming to please each other, what's the ultimate resulting consequence of that? Unconditional relationship. And it's love, relating in a ship, being in one together. That's relationship. Relating in a ship together, heading in the same direction together. And that's what it is. Someone once said that the only time you look at each other is when you say, I do. After that, you turn around, both of you are looking in the same direction together. Like I said the last time, when it comes to a very successful relationship, you have to tell your partner what you like and what you don't like. And don't try to change her. Be a perfect example for your partner. I've done it before where, I saw the places where she was weak and I had to, pick up interest in that area in order to meet up, to balance the equation because she's weak in that area. And when you do this, a lot of times you start seeing them follow you as a man because now you are what? A leader by example. Okay, and then leadership in relationship is not what it's supposed to be, like what it is in Nigeria. Women are not supposed to be our doormats because we are supposed to be comparable to one another. It's not a side by side, nor her behind you. It is supposed to be side by side. She was taken from your side according to the word of God. She wasn't taken from your leg. She wasn't taken from your arm. She was taken from your side. So
Side.
relationship also be I'm trying to please you, you trying to please me and
See,
respect me, and therefore both of us would head on and build a wonderful, I mean, a triumphant relationship that will be an example to others to emulate.
Sir George, you've popped my bubble. You've scattered my brain.
Ah,
You finished me here. Massive Mark, please, see, you know, in fact, I am sweating here. He said some people can actually have a carnal knowledge of someone without knowing his or her name. That one hits me hard. Now, what he said is totally right. Now, I don't know, but I'm sorry, but that is my own assumption. I think I blame the women in part of my own world. I blame the women because the men are no longer, persuasive this time around. A man can never, today in this part of the world, men don't ask you out 2 times. They just say, ha. Some men sef don't even ask you out. They just come and be coming with style. Before you know it, they get down with you. Now, why I blame ladies is this: most ladies are the desperation among them to have men is making them. They don't even give those men chance to chase them. I don't know. You understand? So because the
very
man
well.
know that if I tell you and you're wasting my time, the next person is available to jump on my ship. So I think I blame the men. I don't know. I blame the women for this. What do you say about this?
Yes.
Massive
Oh,
man?
very good. Yes, that's a good one. What I also add to what Sir George is saying is this: it's a shame that we're in a time when sex is out there. You know, sex is no more valuable. Sex is no more that very precious thing we long to. We were told was very special. Sex is out there. It's rough. People are having all kinds of sex, and that's why people are bringing unplanned babies into the world. There is high level of disease and sexual diseases and uh, problems, and also the emotional part of it too. People are having all the headaches, pains from the breakfast that they are served. So it's really, I think the women lost it somehow along the line. Like Sir George said, the women have, ladies have become too cheap. You know, women have become too easy to access. They feel, I mean, like we said, because of money also. So every woman flanks themselves at the man that has more money, more cars, more whatever, and thereby sex becomes blah, nothing too precious to consider. But in the midst of that, some people are still doing it well. You still have some group of people, some people that still believe in values and good character, good relationship, lifestyle. Some people are doing it well, but it's sad that it's probably a very small number of people. But on the whole, the generation has we've made sex become a no valuable thing. It's just out there,
It's okay.
cheap sex,
Yeah.
crazy sex.
Can, it's okay. Thank you.
And
Okay, Sir George, you're raising your hand.
I
You want
was
to?
actually, because sometimes when we talk about these things, we don't go
yes.
to the root causes of it. Today in our own country, we see young men that are out of school and there are no jobs, and they go into highway robbery, kidnapping, and all manner of things because the energy that is in them is so much. And at the age of 30, you're still living with your parents. It didn't used to be that way. And they're now taking alternative ways of making money, which is wrong. But also, it is affecting women. When a young lady doesn't have any money to buy the necessities of life or to compete with one another in school, all of a sudden they're persuading her to lose her morals and go and start doing things. And then all of a sudden evil communication can corrupt good habit. And that is one thing that we really need to pay attention to. If our country is prospering the way that it's supposed to prosper, I believe that at least 40% of these young women that are doing these things will not be doing it because they graduate from school, they will get good jobs, they will now seek to have a relationship with a husband that they will honor and respect. But these days is no longer the same. And what is happening today is this. We are living a trail of bad things because if a young lady starts at the age of 18, taking money from men to have sex because they want to meet their necessities, when they get married, what says that if any problem happens that they will not go out there secretly to try to still do the same thing? And that is what's happening in Nigeria today. You see a lot of married ladies leaving their husbands and going out, to make money because they are used to it. They practiced it in school and then it becomes part of their character and they're hiding it from their husband, but they're still doing it. So we really need to look at the root causes of these things because if in the back days when things were okay, it was not like that. And that's why I believe that is a predominant type of situation in Nigeria today. We have to look at it from that
Wow.
standpoint.
Yeah, that's very correct. Now, Catherine, honestly, I'm still not coordinated with most of the things I've been hearing here now. Catherine, now we with the women, I think this thing is centering on women now. Why is it that we as women have lost our self-worth? Yeah, I know everybody needs money to survive. I know financial help is important for our survival. But must we get down with a man because he has money? Must we?
No, we don't have to do that. It's inferiority complex. Okay, a lot of young women, they don't know themselves. They don't know who they are. So
Exactly.
if you don't know who you are and how you are, I mean, your whole personality, you would end up taking wrong directions. And most of these things, it is also as a result of bad friends, peer pressure. Okay. So I feel like most women don't know who they are. And so because they don't know who they are, they end up joining a wrong association.
Yeah.
So a young lady, very ambitious, wanting to become somebody in future, but end up making friends with men or with women that are not going to that kind of direction he is actually working on. So immediately you get it wrong. It is a part. Okay. When you get it wrong, you will get everything wrong. Yes. So it is about time. Okay. Anytime I say that it is about women should believe in themselves.
South. Yeah.
Okay. Knowing who you are is one point.
It's okay.
As I said here, I know who I am.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have my class of people that I mingle with. I
That
have the
thing.
kind of people I want to move
Move
with.
on. It's
If
okay.
I look at you, if I study you, and you are not aligned with what I'm doing,
What
I will
cuts the
just
person off?
cut
Exactly.
you off my life.
That's good.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
So we must know who we are. You must know where you are coming from, the kind of family you are coming from, the kind of environment you are coming from. So with all these stories you have in front of you, you then sit and look at how you order your steps. A lot of people end up ignoring where they are coming from,
Yeah.
the kind of family they are coming from. If I say the kind of family, it doesn't mean that because you are coming from a rich family, you should behave anyhow. No, because somebody has started a legacy in the family. And so you have to continue with that very kind of legacy. So you don't joke around. You don't mess up. Okay. Sex is so cheap that now sex, you see people having sex on phone. This is real talk. So I can say it.
Of course, you can say anything.
Real talk.
Sex on
Real
phone,
talk.
recording their naked picture, okay, recording themselves and sending it to men. Like Uncle George was saying, it's all boxed back to money. Because when I send my naked picture, I will make money out of it. Okay. But apart from that, like I said, it is inferiority complex. A lot of women, they don't know who they are. A lot of beautiful women, they don't know who they are. The kind of body God gave to them, it is for a purpose. They don't know. Whatever they
Exactly.
have right now, it is a purpose. There is a reason why God had to place you in Nigeria. And there is a reason why God had to place me in Ghana. And there is a reason why God had to strategically place Uncle George in Canada. There is a reason. There is a purpose.
Ex-
So if you
Yeah.
don't get it right, you will mix everything. A lot of
Yeah.
destiny are shut because they had swerved from the main road. A lot of great men, because of sex, they are down. Very
Yeah.
intelligent young men, because of sex. Sex is part of us. God created sex for us to enjoy it. Sex is a beautiful
Yeah.
thing. It is made by
It's
God
okay.
for us to enjoy it. So
I think
if you
well,
don't get it right, okay, so if you don't get the right person to associate with, you end up destroying your
you
life
abuse it. It's
because
okay. I have to stop you there.
one sex can
I have to
abort
stop
a
you.
great destiny. One
That's
sex
correct.
can just abort great destiny.
Exactly.
So
Spoil it.
Exactly.
we have to tell them that
It's
on
okay.
real
Catherine, I have to stop you there because we're running out of time. We're running out of time. Now, Sir George, Massive Mike, we talked about upbringing, family. Now, I quite agree with you. In the kind of society we live in, we've seen where people come from a healthy and wonderful family.
Something went wrong.
Hello? The network is messing up. Can you hear me? Sorry.
Go ahead. Okay. Anyway, we're rounding up. Sir George, some very
Yes.
good points you laid out.
Insight. Yes, yes,
Yeah, some
yes.
good
I
insight.
just wanted to respond to one of the things that she's saying before.
Okay.
You know, sex is like fire.
Mm-hmm.
Sex is like fire.
Mm-hmm.
Sex in the right relationship and under the condition that it was given to us for would be the most beautiful thing.
That's correct.
Fire is good under the stove to cook food.
That's
Fire
correct.
Yeah.
is good to warm you up. But
Yeah.
when you put fire on a couch, it will burn the house. When you put it on the
Exactly.
trach, it will burn the house. So that's what
Yeah.
sex is like. And I can guarantee you that the people that are practicing sex in the right way and having more fun than those who are doing it outside the scope that God gave it to us. And
Mm.
that's something that we have
That's
to.
But in a society today, like I was saying, see people who come from healthy and family, good family, but they come to the society, they become another thing because of the kind of structure we have built in our society. We have a lot of rich men and women who make money for sex. You understand? They have this money, they won't give it to these young women or give it to these young men except they have sex with them. And it has become a norm today in the society that even your own wife will even ask you when you come home to tell her that that woman is asking me to sleep with her and is going to give me 10 million and I refuse. Your wife will call you a stupid man and ask you to go back and sleep with that woman. Your parents, your mother or your father might not tell you directly, they will tell you, go and sleep with that person and get that money. Do you like this kind of life we are living? Do you like this kind of house we live in? They'll force you to marry somebody you don't want to marry. Boils down to that same money issue. Now, in this way, we have built sex in our society because the people who have this money are giving it to you because of what they want to get from you. We've had a situation whereby a man will invite you to his house and give you money, and when you come, he expects you to have sex with him. Just please.
I can hear you.
hello.
Yes.
What
I
was
think.
that again?
Yeah. No. No. I heard her very well.
Okay, what did she say?
Yes. She's actually trying to buttress what happens in most times in the society in Africa, where a couple, a man comes home and probably it's a lady offered him money for sex, and he tells his wife, and the wife will say, "Why not take that money and do that thing?" And that's something that actually happens. I don't know. Do you have idea about that, Sir George? Do
Well,
you?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Money has become you see, when the Bible says that the love of money is the root of all evil, it basically is saying that when you are willing to do anything to make money, that's because you love money. Money has now become your ruler, your leader, the foundational motivation in things you do. And that's what money is neutral. Money is good. Money is a safe thing by itself. It's a means to an end, not the end itself. So, but when you begin to compromise your emotion, your integrity, your character, everything, your upbringing, just because of money, you are now in love with money. And the consequences of that is that many people have pierced their souls because of that. So when we talk about these things, those are the things that, most of us are not teaching our children. You see, and listen to this though, because we need to talk about this for those parents that are listening. It is not what you say that your children will do. It is what you do that they will replicate. Children usually, they hear more with their eyes than with their ears. So they watch what you do, and they will emulate you in the way you deal with the affairs of life. So we have to be careful around our children to make sure that we walk the talk, not just talking only. I have a cigarette in my hand, and I'm telling my son not to smoke. He's gonna look at me like a hypocrite. That's it.
It's okay. That's a wonderful one.
I'm going to tell my daughter not to go and sleep around, but my wife is accusing me of, sleeping with other women. And look at me as a hypocrite. It doesn't make sense. We got to walk with
That is. It's okay. It's about what we are doing, not about what we are saying. And actually, that is actually what is happening in our society today. What we are doing is actually what is reflecting who we are today in our society. Because we're about to go, please, in 10 seconds, can you advise people how to have a healthy romantic relationship? Let's start from Massive Mark.
Wow.
20 seconds, please.
Thank you. One word: be relatable. That's all. Be relatable. Understand how to relate with each other. Open yourself and be humble. Where a humble person is relatable. Thank you.
Catherine, 20 seconds, how to have a healthy romantic relationship. Can you hear me? Can you
Yes.
hear me, Catherine?
Yes.
Yes,
Now we
please. I want to say something before I end.
Be fast about it. Be fast about it.
So what I want to say is that a lot of women must be empowered. Okay, and I believe it's about time that the African leaders, the diasporas, they come together and look at how they can empower their society. Last year, we had a program for women. We taught them how to come up with a liquid soap, and you could see the excitement. Okay, a lady was married for 10 years and she actually don't know what to do. Okay, so these are some of the equipment or skills that we can give to our community, the women in our community, to empower them. If somebody is producing a liquid soap and is selling it to a company, he wouldn't come and ask you for money. She has been already empowered, and
It's okay. That's nice. That's a wonderful one. But another thing, before we empower them financially, we need to empower them
able to
mentally.
take care of the
Because
family and all.
actually, most times it's not about not having money. A lot of women, a lot of African women are doing something, they are earning, but they still believe in getting that money from a man. Some of them have a good job, but they still sleep around. George, please, in the next 20 seconds, How can we have a
please,
healthy romantic
let me
relationship?
conclude. Me,
Try
that
to
one, those people, they
consistently. You
need
gotta.
deliverance.
Okay. Okay. Hold
Those
on.
kind
Hold
of
on.
people,
Cassie, hold on. Cassie, hold on.
Wait.
Cassie, hold on. We must make time for one another. Make time to learn your
Yes.
partner. Let's make time to know who that partner is, their likes and dislikes. Separate time to communicate honestly and consistently about important issues. Set dates so you can go out and have fun with your partner. The way you brought her in is the way to keep her. Please her in every way. Make sure that is an honest communication. When you have issues, discuss the issues and not throw stones at each other. And these are the consistent ways we can learn one about another and continue to move forward in the same direction so that our relationship can get stronger and stronger as we grow.
Thank you very much. We've had it. Sex cannot give you any healthy relationship. Don't start on sex. Start on relationship, conversation, getting to know each other, more especially embracing the differences. You must not be in the same level with your partner, but you can learn each other. You understand him or her, she understands you, and you will work perfectly well. This is where we will draw the curtain today on relationship matters, and today we'll discuss about romantic type of relationship. Next week we'll be coming up with another different topic. So here, real talk. On this show, we keep everything real, and we're here to talk for a better society, for a better human being. That's what we're taking today. See us next time next week. Bye. Remember, keep love alive. We love you.
Be this world, changing your mindset.